All right, today we're going to break down one of the most powerful habits out there, smoking. We're going to get into how it hooks you, what it really does to your body, and of course, the incredibly challenging path to breaking free. Okay, so to really get a handle on this, we're going to walk through the whole life cycle of a smoking habit. We'll start with the very first cigarette, then we'll dive into the science of addiction. From there, we'll look at the toll it takes on the body and the wider ripple effect. And finally, we'll talk about what it actually takes to break that habit.
All right, Section 1, the first cigarette. Everything has to start somewhere, right? And for smoking, it usually begins with just one moment, and a really big question that millions of people have had to ask themselves.
I mean, it's a fair question, isn't it? Why would anyone start a habit they know is harmful? Well, the truth is, it's rarely just one bad choice. It's more like a perfect storm of different pressures all hitting at once.
And these are some of the biggest triggers. It's really interesting when you think about it. These external things are what give that first push. If you grow up with smokers, it just seems normal. Peer pressure is obviously a huge one. Nobody wants to feel left out. And sometimes it's just plain old curiosity, or maybe even thinking it'll help with stress.
And this quote just nails it. The first time is often not about the cigarette, but the situation. So context is everything here. That first cigarette, it's almost never about the tobacco itself. It's about wanting to fit in, or dealing with some stress, or just being curious. It's the situation that lights the fuse, not the substance.
Okay, so you have that first psychological step, but it doesn't stay psychological for long. It quickly becomes something way deeper. So let's get into the science of addiction and that chemical hook. This right here, this is the trap. It's a cycle. You inhale, nicotine zips up to your brain, and for a moment, you get this hit of pleasure or calm. But as soon as that nicotine level drops, your brain starts screaming for more. That's the craving. And that urge makes you repeat the whole thing, reinforcing this powerful loop that literally rewires your brain. And what you end up with is this constant internal battle. It's your willpower versus the urge. On one side, you've got your conscious mind, the part of you that knows you should quit. But on the other side, you've got this powerful physical compulsion that's demanding more. It's a real tug of war between your mind and your body. So while that war is going on inside your head, your body is paying a really heavy price. Let's move on to the body's burden, the actual physical toll. And believe me, it's not small. The damage is just systemic. It hits everything. I mean, yeah, we all think about the lungs first, right? Makes it harder to breathe, all that coughing. But it also forces your heart to work way harder, jacking up your blood pressure. It even shows on the outside, more wrinkles, dull skin. And then there's your immune system, which gets hammered, so you get sick more often and take longer to heal.
Yeah, it's not just one thing. It's a total chain reaction of damage. Those chemicals don't just stay in one place, they travel everywhere your blood goes, which means they're hitting almost every single part of your body.
But here's the thing, the damage doesn't stop with the person smoking. It's like throwing a rock in a pond. The ripples spread out. So now we're going to talk about that ripple effect, the impact beyond the smoker.
And when you look at all the costs, it's wow. The health cost is obviously the biggest chunk, that's no surprise, but look at this. A quarter of the impact is financial. That's huge. Then you've got the social costs, the strain on relationships, and yeah, there's even an environmental piece to this whole puzzle.
And this is maybe one of the most important takeaways. Smoking is never, ever a purely personal choice, because the danger of secondhand smoke is very real. It harms family, friends, and especially kids. It basically forces them to be part of a habit they didn't choose.
Okay, so after hearing all of that, you're probably thinking, why doesn't everyone just stop? Well, as we saw, that chemical hook is incredibly powerful. So let's talk about breaking the habit, the path to quitting. You've probably heard this term before, going cold turkey. And it means exactly what it sounds like. You stop a habit suddenly, completely. It's the all-or-nothing approach. One day you're a smoker, the next day you're not. It's abrupt, and it takes a huge amount of willpower because your body gets zero time to get used to the change. So you've got the two main paths here. On one hand, you can cut down, gradually smoke less and less over time. It's a slower process. On the other hand, there's cold turkey. Boom, you're done. But here's the key. Whether you do it slow or fast, both roads require that same immense willpower to fight the physical urge. There's really no easy way out. But here's the good news, and it's really good news. The body starts to heal as soon as a person stops smoking. It doesn't matter how long they smoked. Your body has this incredible ability to recover. The second you quit, the healing starts.
Your breathing gets better, your energy comes back, your risks start to drop. It's proof the change is absolutely possible.
So every habit tells a story, right? And the big question is, what happens when you decide to write a new one? Understanding this whole loop we've talked about, from that first trigger to the chemical hook to the way out, that knowledge, that's the first step to changing the narrative.